Stop lying to her. Zhang Linghe confronts Dylan Wang in a private meeting about Bai. A confrontation that changes everything. The atmosphere inside the dimly lit private lounge of a secluded luxury hotel in Beijing was thick with tension, the kind that doesn't just sit in the air but charges it. 2 men. 1 woman. And a secret that refused to stay buried. What was meant to be a discreet meeting spiraled into an emotionally charged confrontation that could shake the entertainment industry to its core. And at the heart of it all stood Zhang Linghe and Dylan Wang, both locked in a silent war for Bailu's heart, one as her present, the other as the haunting storm of her past. Stop lying to her. A line that shattered the calm. It started quietly. Zhang Linghe arrived at the hotel with no security, no fanfare, just purpose in his steps and fire in his eyes. According to an insider at the hotel, Dylan had already been waiting in a private suite, pacing restlessly, a glass of untouched whiskey sweating in his hand. Within minutes of Zhang entering, voices escalated. One of the staff outside reportedly heard something that sent chills down her spine. Stop lying to her. Zhang Linghe's voice was loud, furious, and trembling with emotion. It was no longer a discussion. It was war. Bailu, the woman caught in the crossfire. The argument wasn't about rivalry or fame. It was about truth. About love. And most dangerously, about betrayal. Zhang Linghe has been Bailu's partner for over a year now. Their relationship, once private and low-key, had become public after paparazzi photos exposed intimate moments between them. But despite the growing affection, the shadow of Dylan Wang, Bailu's ex-lover, never seemed to disappear. Sources close to the couple revealed that Bailu recently confessed to Linghe that Dylan had shown up at her filming location late at night, claiming it was just to check on her. She tried to dismiss it. But Zhang Linghe couldn't. Not after the look in her eyes changed. Not after he saw her smile the way she used to, not at him, but at her past. What Dylan said that made everything worse. During the meeting, Dylan reportedly stayed composed at first. His tone was calm, but cold. I'm not lying to her, Dylan said, his voice low. I'm just not telling her everything. There's a difference. That line ignited the explosion. Zhang Linghe, known for his calm demeanor and quiet loyalty, snapped. She's been through hell for you. And now you're back like a ghost that won't die, whispering half-truths and giving her false hope. You left her, Dylan. She cried herself to sleep for months. I held her through it. Not you. There was a moment of pure silence. The kind that comes right before the storm breaks. You think I don't regret it? Dylan finally said, voice cracking. You think I didn't die every day knowing I walked away from the only person who ever made me feel alive? An unexpected confession, I never stopped loving her. In a twist no one expected, Dylan's composure broke. He placed the whiskey down and leaned forward, staring directly into Zhang Linghe's eyes. I never stopped loving her. Not for a second. Zhang Linghe's fists clenched. But he didn't strike. He just looked away, breathing heavily, as if those words had punched him harder than any blow ever could. Then why did you leave? Zhang asked, voice hoarse. Dylan's reply came slowly. Because I thought I was protecting her. From my chaos. From the fame. From the scandals. From me. And now you're what? Linghe countered. Fixed. Safe. You married Shen Yu. You moved on. So did she, with me. Or did you come back just to destroy her again? Shen Yu, the silent name that wasn't supposed to be spoken. What made the confrontation more volatile was the mention of Shen Yu, Dylan's wife. Their marriage, widely speculated to be arranged and strained, has been a favorite topic of gossip. Zhang Linghe's next words hit harder than either man anticipated. Does Shen Yu know you still visit Bai Lu? Or that you're holding onto a woman who has tried so hard to move on? The room reportedly went dead silent. Dylan looked visibly shaken. For once, he had no answer. Because deep down, he knew Zhang Linghe was right. Security intervenes after physical escalation. Witnesses say the tension finally boiled over when Zhang stepped toward Dylan, shoving him back. If you care about her at all, he hissed, let her go. Stop showing up in the middle of the night with your unfinished apologies. Security had to step in when Dylan lunged forward, grabbing Zhang's arm. And if you love her so much, Dylan shot back, why is she still looking for me in your eyes? The guards separated the two just before a full-blown physical fight could erupt. Neither man resisted. But both walked away forever changed. What happened after Bai Lu's tears in her dressing room? Hours later, Bai Lu was seen in her drama set's dressing room, wiping away tears after receiving a phone call. No one knows what was said, but according to a source, she just kept repeating, why didn't anyone tell me? That same day, she cancelled interviews and left the set early. The fallout, who will she choose? Social media is ablaze with fan theories. Did Dylan confess his lingering feelings? Did Zhang tell her about the confrontation? And most importantly, what does Bai Lu feel now? Some fans believe this private confrontation was Zhang Linghe's way of protecting Bai Lu from being hurt again, proof of how deeply he loves her. Others think Dylan's raw confession might finally push Bai Lu to confront her unresolved feelings. But sources close to her say she's more confused than ever. She thought she had moved on, one insider said. But now, it's like the past just kicked open a door she tried to lock forever. Netizens react, this is a love triangle no one asked for, but can't stop watching. Weibo exploded the moment leaked footage from a hotel hallway caught Zhang Linghe entering the suite, and Dylan storming out minutes later, looking visibly disturbed. Hashtag Linghe vs Dylan. Hashtag protect Bai Lu. Hashtag Dylan still loves her. Hashtag Zhang is the real one. Fans are torn. Dylan left her. Zhang picked up the broken pieces. You don't get to walk back into someone's life when they finally learned how to smile again. At Chasing Stars. But if Dylan's love is still real, shouldn't Bai Lu know before it's too late? At Unspoken Feelings. Why is no one talking about Shen Yu? She's married to Dylan and deserves truth too. At Drama Queen 2025. Where does this leave everyone? Dylan Wang walked away from that hotel with a storm in his eyes. He hasn't been seen publicly since. Rumors swirl that his marriage with Shen Yu is crumbling faster than anyone expected. Zhang Linghe returned to Bai Lu's set later that evening, but refused to speak to the press. A staff member said he looked drained and hurt, but still trying to smile. Bai Lu has reportedly asked for time off. She's unreachable, her phone turned off. Those closest to her say she needs time, not to choose between two men, but to choose herself. Final thought. This confrontation wasn't about jealousy. It was about love that never died, and the scars left behind when someone walks away from it. Whether Bai Lu chooses Dylan or Zhang, or neither, one thing is clear, the truth is out. And nothing will ever be the same again. This is no longer just a love triangle. This is a ticking time bomb. And it just went off. The suite's air reeked of tension, sweat, and words left unspoken for too long. Zhang Linghe's chest heaved as he stood face to face with Dylan Wang, the man who once held Bai Lu's entire world in his hands, and shattered it. Do you think this is a game? Zhang spat, stepping closer, his voice rough with restrained fury. You disappear for months. She bleeds in silence, learns to smile again, and now you show up whispering half-truths in her ear like none of it mattered. Dylan didn't flinch. I didn't come to destroy her, he said slowly. I came because I couldn't stay away anymore. Zhang laughed, bitter and cold. You don't get to say that. Not after what you did. Not after marrying someone else and walking out of her life like she never meant anything. Something in Dylan cracked. His jaw tightened, and for a moment, his confident posture faltered. I thought walking away would set her free. Zhang's expression darkened. No. You walked away because you were afraid. And now that she's healing, now that she's mine, you want to drag her back into your chaos. You're not here for love, Dylan. You're here for guilt. The accusation landed like a punch. But Dylan didn't retreat. Instead, he stepped forward until they were nose to nose, eyes locked in a silent war. She still looks for me, he said under his breath. When she thinks no one's watching. When you hold her and she thinks you're asleep. Zhang's hand twitched. You don't know anything about her anymore. I know everything, Dylan said, voice low and dangerous. I know she still hums the melody I wrote. I know she kept the necklace I gave her hidden in the drawer you think is empty. And I know that no matter how many times she says she's moved on. Enough? Zhang growled. In one swift motion, he slammed Dylan against the wall, fists curled at his sides but trembling, not from violence, from the pain of a man fighting to protect what he loves. You don't get to say her name like that. You don't get to know her anymore. Security outside rushed in, alerted by the thud. Dylan didn't fight back. He stared past Zhang, his eyes almost haunted. She deserves to know the truth. Zhang's jaw clenched. No. She deserves peace. The guards pulled them apart. One holding Dylan back, the other placing a hand on Zhang's shoulder, reminding him to breathe. As Dylan adjusted his shirt and turned to leave, he looked back just once. You think you're protecting her by keeping the truth from her. But one day, when she finds out, and she will, she'll never forgive either of us. And with that, he was gone. Zhang stood alone in the suite, fist still clenched, heart heavier than ever, knowing that this was far from over.